Houston, Texas, a city of gleaming skyscrapers, quiet suburbs, and secrets buried deep beneath Southern charm. In the summer of 2019, a young man from a humble neighborhood vanished without a trace. His name was Oscar Reed, 23 years old, hopeful, in love, and full of plans for the future. What started as a romance soon turned into a dangerous collision between love, power, and deception. And until today, no one knows what really happened to Oscar Reed. Oscar grew up in Riverside Heights, a modest area near the industrial edge of Houston, where families worked long hours, neighbors looked out for each other, and dreams often stretched further than wallets. He was known as the kind of boy everyone rooted for, respectful, hardworking, and always smiling despite life's weight. He worked as a technician in a local auto shop, saving up for college, occasionally picking up extra shifts just to help his widowed mother pay rent. 15 miles away, in the upscale gated community of Cypress Glen Estates, lived Audrey Bill, 21, elegant and sharp-minded. Her father, Senator William Bill, was one of Texas's most influential politicians. Her mother, Alisia Bill, was a woman whose smile never quite reached her eyes, graceful in public, calculating in private. It all began at a community outreach program downtown, a project sponsored by the senator's office to bridge social gaps among youth. Oscar was volunteering as a mechanic, helping fix up cars for underprivileged families. Audrey was there as part of her university's civic engagement program. When their paths crossed, it wasn't dramatic, no slow-motion movie scene, just a simple, human connection. She asked for directions. He offered to walk her there. They talked. They laughed. And somehow, in that brief hour, something clicked. For months, they texted secretly. Audrey would drive down to Riverside Heights under the pretense of field work. Oscar would meet her by Bayou Park, near the old bridge where the city lights flickered across the water. That bridge became their world, the one place they could be free. When the senator and his wife eventually learned about the relationship, the household erupted. To the Bills, image was everything. Their daughter dating a mechanic's son from Riverside Heights wasn't just frowned upon. It was unthinkable. Senator Bill tried to reason with Audrey, offering to send her abroad for postgraduate study. But Audrey refused. Alisia Bill took a different path. She didn't argue. She observed. And when persuasion failed, she started planning. Behind her flawless public persona, Alisia was ruthless about maintaining control of her family, her husband's career, and now, her daughter's life choices. She believed Oscar wasn't just unsuitable. He was a threat to everything they'd built. Despite constant tension, Audrey and Oscar continued to meet in secret. They spoke of running away, of moving to Austin, or maybe out of Texas entirely. One night, as rain drenched the streets, Oscar said softly, "We can start over somewhere new. I don't care about money or politics. I just want you." Audrey's tears mixed with the rain. She whispered back, "You don't know what my mother is capable of?" Oscar laughed it off, but that sentence would haunt him later. Weeks later, Alisia contacted someone she thought she could trust, a man named Derek Haynes, a fixer, who handled unpleasant matters quietly for Houston's elite. Her message was chillingly simple. "I need someone to disappear. Permanently. No police, no trace." Derek wasn't a killer himself. He connected clients to people who handled things. He reached out to a man from his past, Calvin Boyd, an ex-con with street connections. But what Alisia didn't know was that Calvin had grown up in Riverside Heights. And Oscar Reed was once his childhood friend. When Calvin received the name of the target, his stomach dropped. He hadn't seen Oscar in years, but he remembered the skinny kid who used to share snacks at the playground, who defended him from bullies, who dreamed of owning his own car garage one day. Calvin decided to play along. He pretended to accept the job, even asked for a cash advance. But deep down, he made himself a promise. "I'll take their money, but I'll make sure she's the one exposed." Still, he knew Alisia Bill was dangerous. People around her didn't just get fired. They vanished from public view, erased by influence. So Calvin started documenting everything, recording phone calls, saving texts, writing notes. It was Friday, August 9th, 2019. Audrey and Oscar were supposed to meet at Bayou Bridge Park, their usual spot. At around 8:40 p.m., Oscar texted her, "I'm here. Where are you?" But Audrey never came. She was grounded, her phone confiscated by her mother. At 9 p.m., two black SUVs pulled up near the bridge. Oscar thought it was Audrey's security detail, maybe sent by her father. Instead, two men stepped out. One was Calvin, the other, a silent figure in a gray hoodie. Oscar, nervous, asked, "Who are you guys?" Calvin, calmly, said, "Just here to talk. Let's take a walk." The next few minutes remain a mystery. Witnesses later told police they saw the three men talking under the bridge lights. Then a sudden scuffle. By 9:20 p.m., the bridge was empty. Oscar's phone, wallet, and keys were found in the grass the next morning. He was never seen again. At first, police treated it as a voluntary disappearance. Another young man who ran away after heartbreak. It wasn't until Audrey came forward, visibly distraught, that the case gained traction. Detectives from Harris County Sheriff's Office searched Oscar's apartment. No signs of struggle, no suspicious transactions. But one detail stood out. His computer showed an unsent email draft titled, "If something happens to me." Inside was a single line. "If you're reading this, tell Audrey I never meant to leave." Authorities traced his last cell tower ping, near Bayou Bridge Park, exactly where Audrey said they used to meet. CCTV footage captured two dark SUVs entering the park road that night. Both were registered under a private security company linked to Alisia Bill's campaign office. Still, with no body, no eyewitness willing to testify, and political power hovering over every move, the case stalled. Meanwhile, Calvin lived in quiet fear. He knew too much. He had the proof: call recordings, payment slips, and text messages from Derek and Alicia's assistant. But leaking that kind of information against a senator's wife could mean his own disappearance. He went underground, leaving Houston, changing numbers, staying one step ahead. Before vanishing himself, he mailed a sealed envelope to a journalist in Dallas. It contained only one note and a USB drive. The note read, "The truth about Oscar Reed. Start with Alisia Bill. If I disappear too, she's responsible." The USB drive had recorded phone calls. In one, a woman's voice could be heard saying, "I don't want the boy harmed, just gone. Do you understand what that means?" The journalist verified the voice matched Alisia Bill's public speeches. But soon after trying to publish the story, his outlet received legal threats, followed by a sudden editorial retraction. The story was buried. Audrey never recovered. She withdrew from public life, moved out of her parents' home, and was last seen teaching art at a community college in northern Texas. Those who saw her said she wore a simple locket every day. Inside, a faded photo of Oscar at Bayou Bridge. In a rare conversation with an old friend, she whispered he didn't run away. They made him disappear. Her mother, Alisia, continued appearing beside her husband in campaign rallies, flawless, radiant, unbothered. Senator Bill eventually lost his seat in a quiet scandal over campaign funds, but neither he nor his wife were ever questioned about Oscar's case. 3 years passed. Then, in late 2022, a strange report surfaced from Galveston, 50 miles from Houston. A fisherman claimed he saw a man who looked like that missing boy from the news, wandering near the docks, disoriented, quiet, and scarred. Police investigated, but found nothing. Another witness, a gas station clerk in Pasadena, said a young man once came in asking to use a payphone. He left behind a worn-out leather bracelet engraved with the initials OR. Neither lead went anywhere. But the whispers returned. Maybe Oscar survived. Maybe he was hiding. Or maybe someone wanted people to believe he did. In 2024, a new detective, Lieutenant Maria Cortez, reopened the cold case after a whistleblower hinted at buried files related to the Bill's private security firm. Inside the unmarked evidence box was something strange. A photograph of Bayou Bridge taken on August 9th, 2019, time-stamped 9:22 p.m. 3 shadows were visible under the bridge light, but only 2 walked away. When investigators tried to analyze the image further, the file disappeared from the server overnight. The next day, Lieutenant Cortez's office was broken into. Nothing stolen, except the case folder on Oscar Reed. In a city like Houston, power protects power. Sometimes the truth doesn't die. It just hides, waiting for the right moment to surface. Oscar Reed's disappearance remains unsolved. No charges, no arrest, no closure. Audrey still lives somewhere in Texas. Alisia Bill still attends charity galas, her smile as polished as ever. And every few months, someone swears they've seen Oscar, standing alone near the Bayou Bridge, staring into the water, as if waiting for something or someone.